Hey Virgo Seeker, do you like your January outfit? 2021, it's a party. You know how Virgo are like, who, me? Sexy? No, I'm just, intelligent and witty. I don't know what you're talking about. While they're sitting like a cat about to leap on their prey. All Virgos are like, no, me? No. All cross watchers are like, yep. Virgo, you're a femme fatale. Femme fatale? Taking fatal to the next level. Look at what you make them do. They're losing their mind, Virgo. Their defenses drop. Quite literally. This is not a third of the deck. It's not half the deck. It's like 90% of the deck is on the floor. They're like on the floor. Hold on, kitty cat. Hold on. Who, me? I'm saying it with admiration, okay? Hold on. I'm just, just nonchalant here. Don't know what you're talking about. Just cleaning the drool off the floor. Virgo, I know your reputation as being tidy and organized and all that, but being a walking library, that's hot. It is. When you have an answer for anything and everything and it doesn't sound like you just made it up, and the person is actually like, huh, how do you know that? And you're like, oh, I read it somewhere. Must have stuck. Your brain is a maze. A maze ball. Sorry. Your brain is like a maze with infinite shelves and secret rooms in the library. You gotta tilt the book a little bit to open the shelves to an entire new world of knowledge that you have inside of you. And it's like people can know you for years and have no clue how much you know and still be, amazed. And sexy, smart and sexy. That makes you a killer. Which is why it is so unfathomable when you with all that, take your heart and do this. Too often, people who maybe know 7% of what you know, if any, maybe as powerful as 7% of you, if any. Because the trouble is, Virgo, and I know some people will say it's a virtue, I will say it's trouble. Trouble is, Virgo, you're also modest. And a cross watcher will be like, no, Virgo patronizes me a lot. Actually, you don't patronize them. You just say something that you know because they asked, or because the situation required. And in comparison to someone not knowing what you know or not being capable like you're capable, they translate it as patronizing them. So you learned that there's no winning. Better to just be quiet. But then when you're just quiet and beautiful, then they're like, "Ugh, you're such a snob. They're just not saying anything. They're just not responding. They're not talking to us." Well, if I talk to you, I'm not going to play dumb to make you feel comfortable. So you will call me arrogant and patronizing for simply knowing something that you don't. The sin. And if I don't say anything, you still have an issue. Is there any winning? It's look, the past couple of years with Saturn in your 5th house, especially for Virgo risings of you, kind of made you feel like, oh, maybe the world is right. Maybe I should just tone it down a notch or 7. No, that wasn't for that. Think of the amazing things you've done in the past 2 years. The creative projects that you've taken to the next level. The skill set that you've mastered even more. Yes, it was no fun. It was brutal on your heart. It was very, very challenging. Especially in your love life. Challenging. It's like one challenging lesson after another. But when you look back at your accomplishments, what you've managed to attain and achieve, and where you are right now, as opposed to 2-3 years ago, with your work, with your creative projects, with your heart. Because what I just said, this is something that you may have done in the past 2 years, or before that, probably with your heart, wearing it on the sleeve and just letting half-asses kind of give it a try. Well, they failed all right, and you know it. You're not doing that anymore. You've learned, possibly the hard way, but still learned. Is there a better student or a better teacher than a Virgo? You are the little kid hiding in the corner of the library, just drowning in the stories, and the librarian. For me, it was, climbing a tree and getting lost in a book when I was a kid. Virgo, you are so unique. You are. And you've had to learn how to dumb it down in your work, in your relationships, in your friendships, to not make them feel like lesser. Well, you're not making them feel like lesser. They are. And it's not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to find someone and an environment that either can, play with you on the same playing field. 10 of Swords. And you're saying, or to just be alone. Yeah. Look, if you're still in the transition, you're done with it, by the way, but if you feel like you're still in the transition between having this type of environment and finding a new type of environment / romantic interest and so on, just know that it's temporary, for the reset. Because you gotta align yourself with people in your level at your level as well. I know it sounded contradictory. You gotta align yourself with people at your level, because they're already at your level. There are people out there who are already at your level. But although in essence you're at their level, you've been stumbled upon so many times that you're not aware of it. And if your conscious is not aligned with that, then there's a dissonance and you'll touch and go with them. You'll meet them, but then it won't completely connect, and will fall to the sidelines, and it's just not going to manifest fully. And you're like, ugh, but this is the person, or these are the group of people that I can really connect with. How come it didn't actually work? Because you're still with yourself, not entirely aware of yourself. Ten of Swords tells me that you've had the last straw. The last straw with the person taking that idea from you, taking the energy from you, subtly jealous of you but pretending to support you. That romantic partner that feels threatened by you instead of rooting for you and making them about them instead of about the two of you being a power couple. Why are we competing with each other right now? Join me with ruling the world. I'm not your enemy. This isn't about you. Aha. Let that just... The only way for a predator to hang out with a prey is if the prey doesn't see itself as a prey. I don't even know why I said that. Okay, Virgo, if you see yourself as like, I don't know, a scapegoat or a black sheep, you know, all that jazz. You choose to see yourself that way. So people play on that. It doesn't serve you. That narrative, albeit true in the past, maybe I believe you. I believe it was done to you. But allowing it to define you, that's what will sustain and maintain that. It defined you one last time. Enough. Ten of Wands. It's like you're listening to me, but then the wheels of your brain are like, but that means I'm going to have to do this, leave this, follow through with that. I don't know how to do it. You do know how to do it. Just do it. 2 tens for New Year's, for the first year of 2021. These burdens have to drop. Have to drop. You've been sitting in this room of pain for a very long time, and your environment has fed you. Yeah, that was so horrible that they did that to you. And they will go into detail of what they did to you. When they did this and said that, and oh, they're in so much pain for you and they care so much about you, but they seem to really enjoy reminding you of it. Almost like, stay in your little sad box, Virgo. If you think of getting out, no, let me feed you. Let me feed you, so you'll sit around longer in there. Let me remind you, because I love you. They love being the guardian outside the door of that little shoebox of misery you're in or were in. Because then they're the hero. And being a hero to a hero, oh, it's a great boost for the ego. But is it love? There are many ways to take energy from people. It's not always the obvious one. We know the notions of succubin and wait, how do you say that? Succubus. We know all these, but those are like so on the surface, like energy leeches. But that's not the real thing that can take your energy, Virgo, because you're so smart. You pick up on that immediately. You fall trap to the empathic narcissists. People who seem so empathic and so caring. For you, the thought of putting them, of thinking about them as possibly narcissistic people who enjoy taking from you in one way, shape, or form, makes you feel bad, makes you feel horrible. No, but they're such a great person. This is a hard thing to do. Hard thing to say. Hard thing to think. Which is why I'm picking up that in the month of January, the beginning of 2021, Virgo, you need to be a predator. Now, I'm vegetarian / vegan. For me to say be a predator, be a wildcat. Don't tell me how. You are a wildcat. All you have to do is just not do the other things that prevent you from being a wildcat. Guilt. The need to live up to the stereotype of the Virgin Mary. She was a badass. She got herself pregnant with Jesus. Sorry, I had to. I mean, being the semen and the egg, the sperm and the egg, I'm sorry. Being the masculine force and the feminine force that brings life. That's godly. That's before we got split into yin and yang. You have that archetype in you. You are mutable earth. You can stand and create and produce, but you can also move like the wind. Sand. The power of the desert, and yet the fluidity of the desert. There is so much power in your subtle walk. Weak people will never know. And you'll probably, you used to not tell them and not show them because you would recognize their need to feel good. But enough, not at your expense, Virgo. No more. And there's a loved one you're thinking about right now as I'm saying this. It hurts. How many times have they done that to you? And you just allowed. And for you, just the thought of doing that to them, you're like, how can I do that? How could they do that? Let me tell you something. They will be hurt not as much by you doing something, like leaving, taking your time, not playing along, and so on, whatever the dynamic is. They won't be as hurt from that as much as it will be their ego. I'm the one who's doing that to Virgo. Now Virgo is doing that to me? This is not for the shadowy Virgos out there that really know how to play people and have done that to people, and now they're getting back their karma and people are just distancing themselves from them. There are those too. Back to my Virgos. Show me more. 20 minutes in. 2 cards. Okay, we had some fun. It will be a longer reading for the new year. I'm also, stay tuned until the end. I'm going to do something special for New Year's. Shadow light homework and oracle. Yeah. January, Virgo. Oh, too many. Show me more for Virgo for January. Justice card. Oh my God, you are cutting shit out. It's not even funny. Karma, 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 karma. Good or bad. But things are done. They are resolved. And you need to be the deliverer, the messenger, the bearer of the sword. The swords are no longer in your back. One sword, stronger than all, in your hand. Based on the scales. You're walking around like a judge. Are you true in my life? Are you genuine in my life? Yes? Enter my realm. No? No. You're putting up a brick wall, Virgo. A brick wall behind you between the wild cat you're becoming and the little kitten that you were, which still is in you. You are kind and sweet and cuddly and loving, but not for those who will abuse you. Once again, they used to abuse you on the surface, it was clear. In the past few years, it was subtle abuse that you've allowed in. Still abuse. Knight of Cups, and look what's coming. Something really genuine, truly loving, from the heart. A cup of clean water and a rose. It didn't have room. This was so heavy. 10 of Swords, 10 of Wands, the Justice. It was so heavy and it needed... You can't break down a wall without breaking down a wall. Hammers and all. This Knight of Cups is stepping into the picture. And you're still wearing the costume of the Justice card, of the Judge. Peeking at them behind safe distance. Are you true? Are you fair? Oh, this Knight of Cups doesn't know what they're stumbling into. But, you know, they say knights can slay dragons. Don't slay any dragons. We love dragons. Maybe they can handle you. Show me more about this, please, for Virgo. This took a lovely turn. And the Knight of Wands drops in the reverse. Okay, so it will be very easy for you to discern true intentions versus just kind of playing along with with reckless behavior. There is a player vibe here with the Knight of Wands in the reverse. This could be 2 different people, or this could be the same person, you know, showing up is this. I'm actually picking a different energy. I think this Knight of Cups and this Knight of Wands are two different individuals. Let's see further for Virgo. Okay, the Emperor, the Chariot, and Judgment. Oh my goodness. Virgo, some of you are going to either move location or change a job. Something, there's a turn of events, like a change in direction. And it's guided by your best self, by your power, okay? By your really understanding of the road. It's like there's a roadmap inside of you and you just know where to go. It's like you sniff it. There is a very strong sense of leadership, of a ruling energy of some sort, commanding energy. Maybe you're stepping into some sort of position of power, of leadership. It might require some sort of travel, movement, change in environment. Those of you who serve in the military, this is very specific, so if it's not for you, stay tuned. Those of you who are military personnel or in security in some sort, maybe you're a police officer, maybe, again, you're a soldier or anything of that sort, I'm picking up either a promotion or being sent somewhere. Watch Capricorn if that resonates with you. Watch Capricorn that I did yesterday. You're being called to serve in something in one way, shape, or form, but it's not the ant type of servant. It's a very like you're called to go somewhere and actually lead something. For some of you, just for some of you. Or you might meet this person because they are coming into your area for work or for some sort of an assignment or something like that. Some of you are remembering a past lifetime where you were an officer or even what's the word? Even a general to that level. The Chariot and the Emperor is very masculine, commanding energy. This could be a leader of your place of living or of your country coming out with some sort of, so many things are coming up. Four of Swords in the reverse. Okay, and there's no time to wait. I think things in January are going to happen really, really fast. And you're going to have to be on the go, and you won't really have time to think about things. I think it's a very powerful good thing. I mean, if there was a time of stagnation, like a waiting game, it's done. You're getting the news that you're waiting on, or you're getting an answer, or you're getting a sense of direction in regards to something that was like a little bit on a hold or a little bit on a freeze. Ace of Pentacles and Temperance. So yeah, this could definitely be something that is a combination of work, but also something that you believe in, care about, something to do with healing, with giving, with, honestly, it has a little bit of a vibe of a dream job. Those of you who are public speakers, maybe you're traveling and, you know, and doing your teachings, maybe you're asked to speak in front of a group or somewhere. Strong sense of healing, financial healing. Towards the end of January, this financial healing, maybe some funds that you've been waiting on, possibly. And there's also some sort of resolution with someone that you care about that you may have not spoken with for a very long time. It doesn't have to be, oh, we're not talking. It could just be, you know, distance that kind of took place. And there's a sense of reconnecting. I don't know why the energy of the Knight of Cups just disappeared with this energy of the Knight of Wands in the reverse. You either realize really quickly that they're not, it's just, you know, something that phases out, because something else really strong suddenly comes in and kind of pushes it out. Or this could be something or someone that starts small and unclear and then suddenly presents itself like very, very serious, like out of the blue. Okay. Two more. There will be an extended for this that will focus on your love life. We will look in more detail to the dynamic and details of you and your person of interest. If you don't have someone specific in mind, then this could be the person that will come in. Possibly whatever is coming up here. Show me more for Virgo for January, please. The High Priestess in the reverse fell on the Ace of Pentacles. It's like you're healing from some sort of secret or something that you had to keep inside, or something that you wouldn't face, wouldn't address, wouldn't resolve, something that was always like there nitpicking at you, but you never really quite went there because it was, I don't know, it hurt too much to think about it or to talk about it. So that will come up to the surface for healing and resolution, and kind of there's a sense of unifying polarities within you, within, you know, the mazes of your brain, the different compartments of knowledge and information. Nine of Swords. Show me more about this. Death. So we started the reading with the Ten of Swords. Okay. For those of you who have experienced, this is not a foresight, this is something that you've already gone through and have experienced. For those of you who have experienced a loss, lost someone, that will somehow come up again to the surface, to be dealt with, to be felt. I don't know if it's information with the High Priestess in the reverse. This might be something you didn't know about, either how they died or about them. It could be anything really. I don't know. But something that will be unveiled to you about this, or about them, or about their loss, will kind of bring it up again to the surface to be dealt with and felt and possibly grieved. There will be, it's like It will be the missing piece of the puzzle in order for you to make peace with it. In order for you to finally say goodbye to it or to them. Maybe it stayed an open wound because there was something missing. Show me more for Virgo for January, just a little bit more. Ace of Wands, right under the Ace of Pentacles, under the 10 of Wands that we had in the beginning. Okay. Who else had the Ace of... Oh my God, we had another reading with the Death card and the Ace of Wands. I don't know if it was Taurus or Capricorn. It may have been Taurus. Watch your fellow Earth signs taroscopes for this month, because I feel like it all somehow connects. Ace of Wands, brand new beginning with the Ace of Pentacles here after the Death card. You're just... It's done. It's completely done and over with. This pain, this anxiety, this injury, this fear. It's done. It's something that has been around for a period of time, that you've been kind of taking with you. But something very dramatic, a dramatic act is happening to completely change the picture. That helps resolve it sometime like early mid-January. And it's just by the end of January, it's like, okay, you know where you're going, you know where you're heading. It feels free, it feels liberating, it feels super accurate. It wasn't easy to get to that state of mind, but you've earned it. One more card. Virgo for January. King of Wands. Okay. Okay, we like that. Ace of Wands followed by the King of Wands, the master of the energy of the fire element. So, first of all, Virgo, you are mastering your own wild kitty cat. By the end of January, you're like owning it. You're like standing on a cliff, watching your kingdom. Sharp. You got this. Another aspect to it is this King of Wands being this emperor. Suddenly it has a face, it has a name, it has a character, it's a person. That something begins with them in the end of January. Okay, it becomes, there's room for it, it becomes tangible, it becomes present. It may have made itself known, or they may have made themselves known somewhere in like different occasions along the month, or maybe even before that. You know, times are changing in taroscopes when it comes to like timelines. So for some of you it's the end of January, for some of you it presents itself earlier. I don't know, but also it's almost like this thing has been waiting to come into your life. First you had to just kind of resolve this grievance thing within yourself. You had to discover something, you had to lay it to rest for this energy to come in or to come through. Okay, I will definitely look into this relationship or connection or potential in your extended. Now, let's start with the shadow work that I told you guys. So, this is a pivotal time in history, a lot of changes. We're going through so much. 2020 was such a big deal for so many of us, if not all of us. And for those of you who are, you know, light shadow workers, spiritual energy workers, shamans who want to support the collective at this pivotal time, I'm going to ask for, these are just the major arcanas from the tarot deck that I've pulled, 22 of them. That represents the major advisors, right? Spiritual ones. So I'm going to pull one card for Virgos for the month of January. Not the interpretation on the surface of the tarot card that will come out, but the shamanic energetic work, spiritual work of the cards. The tarot is multi-layered. What kind of shamanic light shadow work, spiritual homework, what kind of energy can my Virgo seekers harness for the month of January to assist the collective? What is the shamanic work, the energy that my Virgos can harness in the month of January to assist the collective, please? One card for Virgos. Spiritual work to assist the collective. Thank you. The sun. Time for you to shine, literally. You being your full glorious self, your full femme fatale. You can be a man too, okay? It's not just for women. Expressing your knowledge, expressing your success, enjoying it, allowing yourself to celebrate. Shining will literally help the collective at this time. There's a lot to say about the Sun card, as there is a lot to say about all the tarot cards, especially the major arcana. This is not just about the surface level interpretation. So, to my Tarot Masterclass Bunkai students, you already have all the classes. I will link specifically the link for the class of the Sun card for the video. Just watch it and kind of focus on the energetic work and the spiritual aspects, or the psychological. There's this deep psychological aspect of the Sun card of it to harness for January if you so wish to. If you're not a Tarot Masterclass Bunkai student and you still want to take part of this, that's great. You don't have to have the entire course, although you're more than welcome to, of course. It will make me very happy, and you'll learn a lot about tarot. But you can simply rent it separately. Okay, I built it in a way that it's like a library. I really love libraries, where you can just rent or purchase the classes separately. Renting this costs $2, so you can watch it, learn about it, know more about the Sun card and about the work that you can do to assist the collective. And thank you for those of you who do so. Please comment if you do. Let me know. I would love to know that you have. Okay, and now back to you, my love. An oracle card for you for the month of January. The Akashic Tarot. We have the Sun here, so let's do it double. The Sun is also a masculine archetype, father figure aspect. And we do have the Emperor here, so there might be something there in it for you. Okay. Message from the Akashic Tarot Oracle for my Virgos for January 2021. Wow. Wow, Virgo. If I haven't flattered you enough, you deserve it. Here's another one, a big one. The Queen of Forces. And just look at the image before I even have to read from the book. Just juggling the energy. Being an alchemist of the different elements. Just really expressing your power both in the light and in the dark. Very high priestess-like, but combined with the Empress. It's, we have the moon and the sun here. Okay, absolutely gorgeous. Let's read. The Queen of Forces. It's one of my favorite ones. Forces. There we go. Okay. What, you thought I'm going to let you read it? No, I'm going to read it to you. This card shows a woman balancing the energies of a sun in one hand and a moon in the other, with a river flowing beneath her feet. The Queen of Forces represents a woman who can help to bring greater balance to your life. She brings an unusual combination of power and peace, creativity and receptivity, in both her energy and her support. Sometimes this card can represent a person in your life, either you or another, coming into a phase of great power and an ability to sustain it with wonderful results. This is so fitting, oh my God. There is a gift of grace and serene understanding when this card is upright. It also brings new roles and opportunities. Careers in many of the sciences, global communication, nature, and energy may now be available to you. The Queen of Forces could also indicate the appearance of a possible love interest or an associate in business or in a creative project who has powerful influence and continues in connections for you or for another. It may be someone you know or somebody new, but when this card appears, there is a tender yet powerful support. During this time, choose to support yourself as well. You hold the forces of the sun, creativity, and moon, receptivity, and only you, yourself, can direct the energy of your eternal life. I mean, just look at it. Look at you, Virgo. Look at you. The word gift, kind of popped out to me when I read. Watch if you haven't, or rewatch if you connected your December reading that I named The Gift. Okay, guys. I know I've given you a lot of homework. You got this. If you're new, subscribe, press the bell button to receive notifications. Comment your thoughts. Let me know how you like the Sun card if you watched it. Thank you. I will see you in a second in the extended, and if not, in the other videos. Stay magic. Stay true. I love you, and I'm proud of you. Go roar.